So,
Whoop, there it is, coming off a loop.
so you're saying that everything could be true, right? Is that what you were saying?
Not everything. I'm saying if we're talking about something, and we're having a debate about something, a lot of times both things can be true.
Because of perception.
We're just trying to argue about who's right instead of thinking about, well, maybe there's a percentage or a level of truth to both our points.
And I was saying that being a merciless killer, mafia don, runner of Tampa, Florida, is also makes him a good person.
I don't know who he is, but you said merciless. So how does that make you a good person?
Because you have to be, if you're going to control
Without
like a
mercy.
whole, if you're going to control the underworld, right? If you're going to be the boss of bosses, we're talking about Santo Trafficante.
Trafficante is just his last name for real?
Trafficantes.
That was like his for real last name?
Yeah, Santos Trafficante.
Trafficante.
This is Tampa's. Well, this is his son. Now, senior.
Born in Tampa in 1914. Wow.
And his father, I guess there's no picture of his father on Wikipedia, but
his dad was born in 1886 in Siciliana, Sicily, Italy.
Where the mob was created, Sicily.
So South Italy.
So when people were migrating at the time to Florida, this guy came down here to Tampa.
His
senior.
The father.
Right. Because
Santino.
There was a lot of bootlegging going on. The alcohol would come in from the Caribbean, from Cuba, right? Mm-hmm. And it would land in Tampa.
Was prohibition happening?
Right.
Okay.
He got there in like late 1920s, early 1930s. Senior did. And he was involved heavily in bootlegging and bringing in exotic alcohol from South America. And he was, of course, associated with La Costa Nostra.
Costa Nostra.
And he ruled Tampa. I mean, this was a guy that, everybody knows about Ybor City now. It's a party capital. Back then, it was a party capital also.
I was going to say, not so much now, a party capital.
Well, Florida, people go there to party. That's one of the...
Ybor City?
Yeah, what about the...
Nah, dog.
Miles Venus strip club?
Miles Venus is there in Tampa, but...
I would say a few 100,000 people go to that Pirates Festival every year.
Yes, Gasparilla, for sure. For sure. But not necessarily...
A capital.
Ybor City.
Well, isn't that
specifically?
That's the hub of all the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, that's where it's not like... To me.
Right, because you're a party champion. You're a party captain. You've been to the turn up.
I'm not
You've
trying
been to the pinnacle of turn up.
I'm not even trying to like flex or anything. I'm just saying like
a professional wouldn't flex.
I've been around places and had fun in places, and there I haven't had as much fun as I've had in other places. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we used to get on a party bus and drive down to Tampa. And we would turn that into a magic school bus full of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And alcohol.
Oh, it was good times.
And the things that happen in Tampa, even on a moderate level that we experience, that place has been doing that for a long time. Like
I don't deny that as well.
It produces these people.
Not trying to hate.
And Santos was a guy that really took advantage. Not only did he do alcohol, he was involved in bolita.
What's bolita?
Bolita is a Cuban lottery. Before the lottery was big,
running the numbers.
So he had a huge racket.
Play 2-1-7 straight. Sorry.
And he was Italian, and the Italians, especially him, he knew Spanish. He was better able to deal with a lot of the Hispanic immigrants that were coming in from South America and the Caribbean.
Okay.
Because there were other gangsters in Tampa.
Right.
Like Charlie Wall. We're going to talk about him in another episode.
Charlie Wall.
But he was called like the Redneck Mafia. He controlled the Redneck Mafia because there was these people, there was other people also cast underworld characters.
Is that like the white people?
Yeah.
Like, is that all the white people? Or were there other type of...
The ones that controlled...
Gangster...
shit in Tampa, yeah.
I guess some people would consider Italians white, right?
Some, but they have like a Latin
I wonder if
origin.
the redneck folk, the redneck gangsters would call them white or no?
They call them wops or dagos.
Oh, that's what that is. Right.
Before, or well, not before, but at the same time, the blacks were going through their struggle and oppression because of the white man. And
continuous.
Native Americans were going through the same thing.
Continuous.
Hispanic Americans. I think also
continuous.
Italian Americans had a lot to deal with. The crazy thing is that
where can you be from to where you're not offensive to a racist?
Anywhere outside of America.
What do you mean?
There doesn't seem to be.
No. Where can you be from? Like where you have to like. Okay.
Yeah, I would still say outside of America.
So German, like a German white German person would probably be accepted, right? As far as a racist person in America,
I think so.
I'm just confused about
I'm confused
where that level, like where does the gradient of color?
Why don't I've heard white supremacists don't like Jewish people, and like most Jewish people to me look white.
Right, so it's not how they look, right? It's what? It's their idealism.
I think you have to be as close to the Caucasian race.
What's that though?
I guess they come from the Caucasian mountains.
Where's that?
Northern Europe.
Northern Europe. So
like Norwegian area, like Netherlands.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Sweden.
Okay.
They're like the original white man, the Viking.
The Viking. So as close to a Viking as possible, and if you're not, then
you're just not as good as them, and I think they're about separating themselves because they feel like their race is being diluted with other races.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm assuming all this stuff from movies that I've watched.
No, I like hearing it every once in a while just to hear how fucking stupid it sounds.
For real. Well, do you think being in the mafia, considering, we talk about in the gang episodes like Zopound, how immigrants get together based on the fact that they're maybe being oppressed by the people that are already here.
There's that part, right?
And they get together and form a
gang. Back then anyway. And even now, right?
Well, but there's something about the way the Italians did it. They're the reason why they call the whole organized crime thing. The Italians really came up with that idea about being organized.
Really?
Because I think so, because like when we talk about gangs in New York, right? You had like Irish gangs that were together because of immigrant status and being in a new country and stuff, but they were still they had some structure, but it wasn't as organized as the Italians that came a little bit later because of the way that maybe their hierarchy is, from
set
like
up.
Godfather to bosses to capos. It's very similar to military structures, and they brought such an organized form to the crime element in the United States that the social criminal justice, reformers, they would have to come up with new laws like the RICO, where basically conspiracy was brought into legal matters. And what that means is that if the government can come up with a plausible story that you can believe beyond a reasonable doubt, then we can try these people. We don't even have to have our hard evidence. Like if I'm the mob boss, right, and I don't kill nobody, I don't touch none of the drugs or anything, how can you implicate me? Because you've been arresting all these lower soldiers. So when they invented these RICO laws and these conspiracy laws, they were allowed to basically turn the soldiers into 6ix9ines. This is the first level of 6ix9ines.
Tekashi 1886.
Exactly. We're going to give you. It didn't really come to the 50s, I think.
1950.
And it was because of, and we'll find out the link of this, right? It was because of Robert Kennedy, right? JFK's brother was coming hard down on the mafia because before then you had Edgar Hoover, right? He was the FBI chief. But according to certain interviews and movies that I've seen, I guess Edgar Hoover was an in-the-closet gay person, and he was in love with his assistant because he didn't have a wife or anything. And they said that the mafia actually had video of J. Edgar Hoover in women's clothes and doing gay stuff. And at the time, that was very controversial. You weren't allowed to be the FBI agent and be homosexual. It just sucked. It was the time.
Yeah.
So when they asked J. Edgar Hoover, what do you think about the mafia? He said, I don't think the mafia exists. And people seem to think being like a mafia kind of like fan or whatever of like learning the stories, that he didn't go after the mafia because they had some shit. So when he retired and Robert F. Kennedy came in with the new FBI chief, he was like, I want to go after the mafia. We're going to go hard after the mafia, which is a little bit hypocritical because his father, right, Joe Kennedy, was a bootlegger that did business with Santo Trafficante and all these people. So you're going to see how Santos was maybe involved in the JFK assassination.
It wouldn't make him hypocritical necessarily.
Why?
Because he's not his father. So,
but that his father's money and influence got him into power. Well, arguably the mafia.
Well, good. So now he can do something right with it. It's awesome. If he thinks, he'd be like, sweet, I'll sleep on him. You put me where I need to be, and then I can try to like stop all this bullshit. So I respect that.
He's kind of like a 6'9".
Nah. How is he a 6'9"? How is Robert Kennedy like a 6'9"?
He benefited from a criminal syndicate that was supporting him and getting him into power. 6'9" was doing the same thing. He wasn't a child of like the Trey Nines, but he was a kid.
But 6'9" did crimes Robert Kennedy did not.
That we know of.
Yes.
I don't think the apple falls far from the tree.
I think it does when one apple tries to prosecute crimes that the other apple perpetrated, or the tree perpetrated.
Yeah, I guess I struggle with that because it is your father, and like.
But if he's like coming down on people for the same shit, then obviously he thinks something's, or he's trying to be elected.
Well, here's the flip of the coin. I guess it's all about your personality and perception, like we started the podcast, right? Because we're gonna see that Senior gave the power to Junior.
Kennedy?
No, Santos Trafficante.
Yeah.
He ruled from 1889 or whatever, or he was around from 1889 to 1950. He died of stomach cancer, and then he gave the power to his son, Santo Trafficante Jr. It's kind of like young ODB.
How is it like?
Because you're taking your father's legacy and you're going hard.
So, young ODB is going hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing the same thing his father did.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
He looks just like, you haven't seen young ODB?
I've seen him.
He looks just like his dad.
That's how he's going hard, by looking like him.
I mean, he's following the legacy. Every time
kids kind of just look like their parents
gets together, he performs his dad's song.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's dope.
He drops songs. Dope. I mean,
all right.
Yeah,
cool for ODB.
So Santo Trafficante.
Have you seen the Wu-Tang thing on Hulu?
It's amazing.
It's amazing because it's not even like a movie. It's not even like a Wu-Tang Clan show. It's a show about them. It's a show about Bobby and fucking his brothers and the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even think Ghostface or whoever. You don't think these people. You think of these characters, and it's good.
Yeah.
Sorry. Side note.
Nah, it's good stuff. Watch it on Hulu, man. I enjoyed it. Oh, wait a minute. I think Kimberly wants to give us the facts.
Okay, boys, this might come off like I'm 6'9" snitching. But most of the world already knows all the facts I'm about to give your ears. This episode is about the Tampa mob and powerful sperm. The father and son dons. The made men of Tampa and a powerful mafia dick. Santo Trafficante Sr., May 28, 1886 August 11, 1954, was a Sicilian-born mobster, and father of the powerful mobster Santo Trafficante Jr. Santo Trafficante Sr. gained power as a mobster in Tampa, Florida, and ruled the mafia in Tampa from the 1930s until his death in 1954. Trafficante was heavily involved in the operation of illegal boleto lotteries. During his reign, Trafficante was a well-respected boss with ties to Charles Lucky Luciano and Thomas Lucchese. He sent his son Santo Trafficante Jr. to New York City to learn from other mobsters. Upon his death, Santo Trafficante Sr. gave the power to his son, Santo Trafficante Jr. This was a respected decision since the New York bosses and Tampa mobsters liked Santo Jr. Trafficante died of stomach cancer on August 11, 1954. He was a member of El Union Italiana, and he was buried in El Union Italiana Cemetery in Ybor City. Santo Trafficante Jr., November 15, 1914 – March 17, 1987, was among the most powerful mafia bosses in the United States. He headed the Trafficante crime family and controlled organized criminal operations in Florida and Cuba, which had previously been consolidated from several rival gangs by his father, Santo Trafficante Sr., reputedly the most powerful crime boss in Batista-era Cuba. He never served a prison sentence in the U.S. Trafficante turned his father's criminal organization into a multi-billion-dollar international organized crime empire. Trafficante was reportedly a multi-billionaire, and wielded enormous power and influence all over the United States and Cuba by paying off police, judges, federal prosecutors, city officials, government officials, local and...
He was a billionaire.
He was a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, multi.
And international...
That's that special room when you come into the Bay.
National politicians, mayors, governors, senators, congressmen, CIA agents, and FBI agents. Trafficante maintained links to the Banano...
That's everybody.
Yeah. This
Did
guy...
you say senators?
Yeah.
This is everybody.
Straight from Tampa.
From Tampa.
Crime family.
Once again,
in
Florida.
New York City,
God
but was
damn.
more closely allied with Sam Giancana in Chicago. Consequently...
Not to mention he was a billionaire back then.
Right. In the 30s? 20s?
No, 30s or 40s, yeah.
30s and 40s. He's a billionaire in the 30s.
Billionaire.
Multi-billionaire.
That
in the 30s.
That white lightning was that cocaine before cocaine was cocaine.
Whew. So where Trafficante from Tampa though, but what's before that was Sicily. Wow, dog. South Italy. It's amazing because I met this amazing individual named Ginger Versace from Southern Italy a few days ago.
Shout out to Ginger Versace.
Kismet. So we're learning about his like OG crime syndicate. I don't know where he was from exactly. I know he's from South Italy, so I'm not trying to get very specific. But anyway.
Was he a Trafficante?
Was he? No, he wasn't.
Fuck him then.
While generally recognized as the most powerful organized crime figure in Florida throughout much of the 20th century, Trafficante was not believed to have total control over Miami, Miami Beach, FT Lauderdale, or Palm Beach.
FT Lauderdale.
The east coast of Florida was a loosely knit conglomerate of New York family interests with links to Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, Angelo Bruno, Carlos Marcello, and Frank Ragano. Trafficante admitted his anti-Castro activities to the United States House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1978. Though he vehemently denied any association with a conspiracy against President John F. Kennedy, at least one witness before federal investigators testified that Trafficante predicted the assassination in spring of 1963. Federal investigators brought racketeering and conspiracy charges against him in summer of 1986. Trafficante was summoned to court in 1986 and questioned about his involvement with the King's Court Bottle Club operated by members of the Bonanno crime family, including undercover FBI agent Joseph D. Joe Pistone, a.k.a. Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco!
Trafficante again escaped conviction. He died on March 17, 1987 at the age of 72. His wife, Josephine, died in 2015 at the age of 95. He is survived by two of his daughters. After the death of his wife, the Trafficante family sold their Tampa 1970-built home for $950,000.
That's it?
In February 2016, many of Trafficante's personal belongings were sold at an auction in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's fucking Treyway, bitches. We don't bend or fold. Free the real.
Kimberly, come on.
Shout out to Shoddy. Free Shoddy.
Wow.
Crazy times. Well, it's Fresh Produce Florida Media. If you want to rat anybody out and send us your paperwork, you can email us. Please like, comment, subscribe on any platform that you receive this podcast, which will probably be YouTube.
Pigeons.
But sometime in the future, we might end up on another platform.
Or little frogs.
You know? I'm Phraydoe Peans.
I'm still Thompson, and today I was drunker than normal.
And we love the CIA.
Some of us do.
Peace and love, y'all.